can't remember the last time that I actually talked about the stress bucket on a video. Probably a while ago. It's something I almost take for granted these days because I talk about it all the time. But if you haven't come across it, it probably needs to be explained in just a little detail. I was aware the other day that my daughter at school had the concept introduced to her in an assembly, but actually the introduction had finished at the point where actually it should have started, in that it was introduced as an idea but no solutions to the problem were given. Now obviously that for me is where I come in. So the stress bucket is a simple analogy. Pretty much everything that I do is based on simple analogies, but I talk about it in the context that we can all deal with so much stuff before we trip over into that mindless, out of control behaviour that we then later regret. So the outbursts of anger, shouting, raging, thoughtless moments where we think, oh, why did I say that? All those sorts of things that actually, when we understand how the brain works, give us the answers. So this bucket system is really a storage system into which we load on a daily basis all of those problems that we face, big, small, ones that we've carried from our past that sit like breeze blocks in the bottom of that bucket, and then the smaller things that, happens with life. But what we find is that if we've got too much in the bucket in the first place, we tend to load it that much quicker just because of the way that the brain thinks. And helpful comments from others saying, well, just snap out of it, or why did you do that, often fall on deaf ears, because the more we've got in the bucket, the less in control of ourselves we are from our brain's point of view. Our brain has gone into dictation mode, should I say. It is ensuring your survival because it interprets a full bucket as you being in trouble and needing its help. And the first thing that happens is actually your cognitive function, so the part of your brain that allows you to communicate with the external world, to a greater or lesser extent becomes impaired. So that explains why we often find ourselves doing and saying things in the heat of the moment that actually, when we're calm and relaxed afterwards, we really wouldn't ever have done or said at all. So the concept of the bucket is key in everything that I do. I work with my clients to manage their buckets because I know that if we can wake up most mornings with near empty, now I caveat, life is life, there's always going to be something in that bucket. But so long as we can get the bucket to a healthy level that allows you to function, retain and utilise that wonderful part of your brain that enables you to be you and make informed decisions and remain in control and feel relaxed and happy, well, then I've done my job. And you need to remember also that you need to be kind to yourself. Just remember, if there's a lot in the bucket and you're finding yourself doing things that actually you wouldn't necessarily choose to do, it's also because you're not in control a lot of the time. So give yourself a break and realise that actually going off and doing something for you that calms everything down, allows you to regain your control, is the best thing in those moments. And if you find that you're struggling and that no matter what you try and do, you don't feel like you are being authentically you and in control, then do give me a shout, and together we can get that bucket under control and get the real you back.